Hello, so it's the early hours of the morning, just giving a dog a quick run before I head off up to Croydon and Frylands Wood for the next round of the London Cyclo-Cross League race. Looking forward to this one, always go quite well here, so see what happens. I'm on a front rider grid, which is a first for me. Read that the other night and I actually got a nosebleed from it, so God knows what's going to happen when I'm sitting there at the start of the race. But yeah, looking forward to it. So going to have some breakfast now and off we go. As you can see, it's raining now. Yeah, my fault. I was hoping for some rain, so that's what we've got. So how did the race go? Well, this was the weather forecast, and as you can see, oh, it's Poxy camera. That's it. Yeah, the weather forecast was looking quite interesting to say the least on the day, but as it turned out, it was just a little bit damp, which just made some of the rocky parts a bit tricky. But other than that, yeah, it's not too bad. It wasn't quite the mud fest that it has been in previous years. The course goes through some woods. There's quite a long, steady climb, but the main feature is the rocks and roots all over the place. As you can see, it's quite bumpy here. It's more like the Blair Witch Project on bikes, really. Yeah, so it made it interesting and made tyre choices and tyre pressures quite important. There's guys puncturing even on the warm-up lap. I saw a couple of the good guys, actually. The fast guys had flats, so they had a big panic to get sorted out, to get gridded, or to get on the grid. What did I do for my... Yeah, I kept my chicane tyres on, extra 5 psi front and rear, and just crossed my fingers and hope for the best. Yeah, off to the warm-up on the rollers. Felt good, legs felt good, had a good spin up, some little spins I do, and then off to the race. So the start, I actually, after all my worrying about on the front row, I was actually on the second row of the grid because it's only 5 bikes wide, it's quite narrow, so I've got on the second row. Yeah, this is the front row. I was just behind these guys, the CNN guys, pretty much a front row lockout. Unfortunately, they all, at some point in the race, had quite bad mechanical or puncture issues. But I've probably had my best start ever in a cross race. I've got away with the guys up to, I think I stoked my nose into about 4th place before the first corner and just settled in with a bunch of about 6 or 7 of us fighting for the top places. Yeah, pretty soon people started puncturing all over the place, and it was quite hard to keep track of where you were in the standings in the race, because obviously through the woods you only had visibility of sort of 10-15 seconds in front of you, so I never really knew where I was. Yeah, some really sketchy parts, and where if you come off on some of the rocky bits you were going to really hurt yourself if you hit the deck. And on some of it, I have to be honest, I rode like a bit of a fart in a trance. This corner here was off camber, really loose gravel, quite steep downhill coming into it, and it was, yeah, I just tiptoed around there quite gingerly, really. Lost a bit of time, most laps there, but I ended up riding back up to people, and I knew I was somewhere in the top 10. Yeah, this bank here, I decided in the end just to run it every time. It just seemed a safer option. Tried riding it in practice, and I could sometimes get up and not others, so I just thought I'll take the safe option and run it. After a couple of laps, I ended up in a battle with these 3 guys, and for what turned out to be 3rd, 4th and 5th place, while these 2 lads ended up battling out for the lead. Well, I ended up, I think I was in what turned out to be 4th, and I had a cunning plan on the last lap to get myself up into 3rd. May or may not have come off, but I didn't get a chance because unfortunately I punctured about, I don't know, just over halfway around the last lap. Spare bike was in the pits, which was down at the bottom of the course, so I just had to get off the bike and leg it, and I ended up in 7th place. The race was won by Dan Braid, his first win of the season, so well done, mate. And I was pleased to get in the top 10 with a puncture. I was also quite pleased with how my running went. It might sound a bit strange, but I've had a bit of a calf Achilles injury for a while now, but that seems to have cleared up, so that was good. There's a little bit of damage to myself. I don't know where I cut my arm. don't know, it's only a bit of a nick, and also the rear wheel took a bit of a battering, as you can see here, but my cuts are going to heal up and the rim can be bent straight. So the next race is at Leeds. Not that Leeds, it's not the Leeds up north, it's Leeds Castle down in Kent. It's a hilly, muddy affair with a massive long run up to it, so should be a good tester. And the weather forecast this week is for rain, so it's kind of the start of the cross season proper. So I'm off to fit the Challenge Limus mud tyres.